Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Techie Tuesdays. I'm your host S. Ravi Kumar. Techie Tuesdays is a weekly show where I answer your tech and career related queries. So if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. Now let's get started with today's questions. Today's first question is by Jyoti Saini. She's asking, what project management tools do your React.js developers use for communications? Jyoti, let me tell you very clearly that project management tools are not dependent on the technology you use for development. So most of the time, project management tools are chosen based on the facilities or features they provide and the kind of licenses a company can afford. For example, Azure DevOps provide free 5 user access for project management. So if you have Azure DevOps, you can add up to 5 users for free and you can do project management of your project, because Azure DevOps has all suite of different applications for handling different DevOps tasks, and it also has a project management component or project management section. So you can use Azure DevOps for project management. If you have 5 people team, more than 5 people, you have to pay for per user license. Similarly, Jira is there, Basecamp is there, which is used by many companies for doing project management. So project management tools are not dependent on technology. As I said, they are primarily based on the features they provide and the kind of license a company can afford. Also, project management tools are not used for communication. They are primarily used for managing the tasks and requirements. For communications, there are different communication tools like Slack, Skype, Microsoft Teams. So those kind of tools are used for doing different kind of communication, be it chat communication, be it video conferencing communication. But for project management tools are used for managing your requirements and tasks and planning and all those things. So as I said, the popular project management tools are Azure DevOps, Jira and Basecamp. Next question is from Shashi Kumar. He is asking, what is Azure Cosmos DB and its function? Shashi, Azure Cosmos DB is basically a NoSQL database. NoSQL databases are those databases which help you or which basically provide you the facility of storing data in the form of key value pair. So Azure Cosmos DB is a fully managed NoSQL database available on Azure. So it's available as a platform as a service or PaaS service on Azure, where you can buy Azure Cosmos DB and get an access of Azure Cosmos DB and manage your databases there. So it's complete cloud database which is used for managing your data. So regarding the function of Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Cosmos DB has many functions. You can utilize it for saving your any kind of application data or any kind of NoSQL data which you want to save and which you want to access it from anywhere in the world. So it's basically a cloud database, cloud NoSQL database with fixed SLAs that it will provide data within a certain time, and it is highly scalable and all those things. So for better details, I will give you the link of Azure Cosmos DB pricing and all the features it provides. I think you can access that and see in more detail that what all functionalities or what all functions that Azure Cosmos DB provide. But in general or in simple terms, it's just a NoSQL database provided by Microsoft in the form of platform as a service. Next question is from Shabi Gardezi. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So his question is, I'm learning web development from 6 months. In this summer, I have option to internship in web development or Salesforce. I need suggestions. Should I join as an internee for web development or Salesforce? Note, I'm not familiar with Salesforce. Shabi, you have already answered your question. Since you are already practicing web development since last 6 months, my suggestion would be to go with web development internship itself, not go with Salesforce, because as you already said that you don't have any idea about Salesforce, and moreover in my opinion web development will give you more opportunities than learning or doing internship in Salesforce, because Salesforce is just a CRM tool. Even though it's very popular one and it has very like large scale customization available and there is lot of opportunity to learn there, but in my opinion still web development will have more scope in future if you go in web development and if you learn web development as an internship. Moreover, the best thing is that you are already practicing or learning web development since last 6 months, so it will be a continuation to your thing and it will give you kind of a confirmation from the company that okay, whatever you have learned is correct and you are utilizing that in a practical company. So my opinion would be again to stick with web development and go for web development internship. Next question is from Nelson. He's asking, how do large companies protect their source code? Nelson, there are many ways by which large companies save or secure or protect their source code. The first one and very common one is that they have their own virtual private networks and servers where they store their source code and they let the developer access the source code only via that virtual private network. Another one is that on GitHub or on any online repository system, they have their own private organization setup and private repositories which can be accessed only by two-factor authentication. That is like user can not only log into that system, they have to provide a key either in the terms of one-time password or something like that, or maybe many systems use SSL or some kind of keys, so they have to use two-factor authentication to access those the private repositories to work on those their source code. So that is the second way. Then there is legal way of getting the developers signing a NDA. So most of the large companies, they in their job agreement itself, they put NDAs or non-disclosure agreements that the developer will not share any source code or any project related information which is marked as confidential. So they get it legally like they get the developer to legally sign those agreements, then only they give them tasks to work on their sensitive projects. Next question is from Fahim Hussain. He's asking, who would I be needing to hire? What would be my team if I am to start building a portal? Fahim, you didn't mention what kind of portal you are creating. So let me give you a general product development team setup, that what all kind of roles and what all kind of people you need to hire for developing a product in a particular business area. The first person would be a product manager or a business analyst who will have the domain expertise of that particular domain in which you are creating a portal. So if you are creating a portal in healthcare domain, so somebody who has a good expertise in healthcare domain and probably a good degree also, probably MBA in healthcare or something like that. I'm not exactly clear about the degrees, but someone who is a domain expert of that particular business domain would be your product manager or business analyst. That would be the first person who will kind of drive the requirements, who will do the communication with the all the associated parties, all the end users, and create the requirements for your product. So it would be either a business analyst or product manager. Then the second one would be, of course, which can be also done by a product manager, that is a project manager or people manager who will manage all the people, assigning tasks to them and all those kind of things. So project managerial things, so all those management things will be done by a project manager. So you will require a project manager also. Then you will require a architect, a technology architect, a solution architect who can design your complete technical solution for your portal. So someone who has to take the decision that which technology to take, whether it is .NET, whether it is Java, which technology will be used to create backend, which technology, which kind of database will be used, whether it will be NoSQL database, whether it will be a SQL database. So you will require an architect for architecting your system or setting up the whole architecture of your system, that what kind of your physical and software architecture, like how many servers you will require, or like what all things are required for running that portal based on the kind of users you need in your systems and all those things. So you will require a software architect who can set up a architecture for your application or your portal, as well as he will of course divide your portal into different modules, technical modules, and then probably he can also work as he can give the task to team lead. So these, like, software architect is basically your bridge between technology and business requirement. So he will basically convert your business requirement into a technical thing which developers or technology person can work on. Apart from that, you will also require, since you are developing a web portal, you will also require a creative person, or I would say that creative architect or web, you can say design. There are many design people, so you can say you will require a UI UX person, so user experience design expert. You will require that, who will basically design the user experience of the complete system. Probably you will require a web designer also, who will design your website, your user experience designer will basically design your website UI and user experience, that how the user flow will happen. And then after that, your website designer will change that user experience into a HTML, or you can hire a front-end developer also who can convert that into HTML. But again, primarily web designer are the one who basically convert your user experience design or UI designs into HTML designs basically. And then after that, of course, you will require a front-end developer, a back-end developer, and a database expert to manage your portal and everything. So all in all, you require product manager or business analyst, project manager to manage your people, software architect to design your architecture. Then you will require UI UX expert to design your UI, web designer to design your website, and then developers to work on that web application or portal. Next question is from Divesh Sinha. He's asking, how can I get a job in the field of software developers? I am a non-IT experienced, but I have recently learned IT skills like ASP.NET, C#, HTML and Bootstrap. Divesh, sorry to say this, but it is very tough for non-IT people without any IT certification or IT degree to get a job in the field of information technology or to become a software developer. Of course, exceptions are always there, but to get a job, most of the cases, preference is always given to someone who has done IT certifications or have got an IT degree. So my suggestion for you would be to either get a certification in the technologies you have mentioned, that is ASP.NET, C#, HTML, Bootstrap, or you can follow my 4-step guide and get into freelancing. So as you said that you have recently learned this IT skills, ASP.NET, C#, and I being a staunch or big supporter of .NET technologies, my suggestion for you would be to get into freelancing. So you can register on Upwork or freelancer.com and look for these jobs. And before getting into these jobs, maybe you can create your GitHub profile or online portfolio where you can showcase your expertise in these things by creating a small website or some sample code that yes, you have experience in developing these kind of applications, and then probably you can search for freelance job. And I think you can get freelance jobs if you have knowledge about these things and showcase your knowledge. But getting a job in a company at this stage would be very tough, especially in current kind of scenario where you don't have like you are coming from a non-IT background and you don't have an experience to show in the IT field. So these were my answers to your tech and career related queries in this episode of Techie Tuesdays. If you want your questions to be answered in next episode of Techie Tuesdays, you can DM me your questions with hashtag Techie Tuesdays on any social media platform. All my social media handles are Techie Rathor. I hope you like my answers, and if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. So until my next video, take care, bye bye.